Oh, whoops. I think. Oh, there's that missing pen. All right. Are you guys ready to see how I'm going to be using an annual journal? Well, here we go. Please don't mind the music in the background. That is my YouTube safe playlist. So, for those of you wondering, this is a B5 notepad from Archer and Olive. And when you fold a B5 page together, you can create a B6 signature, which is why I'm using this as the example for what I'm doing in here. Now, how my annual journal ends up looking, I think we're right about there, is going to be something similar to what I'm about to show you here. By the way, by the time this video probably makes it to air, this pen will be dead, and I'm so freaking sad because the Archer and Olive gel pens I absolutely adore, and getting more of them is definitely difficult. Oh, that was cricket all over the place. Okay. So how things are set up in the annual journal for me and my household and here at the homestead is we are on a bi-weekly paycheck. So how it's set up is I have a space for paycheck number 1. Why aren't you using the nice ruler, EJ, that you got in the Archer and Olive thing? Because I completely forgot about it because I'm a derp-dard. And then we're going to put this right here, which is paycheck number 2, number 1, doot, 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 doot. All right, so it's split up between the 2 paychecks. On this side, we will have savings. And I don't have savings goals for every month. I just try to put every Sunday I'll round the main account down to the closest 75, 50, 25, or even 100 and put that money into savings. And that has saved our butt quite a few times. Sometimes that might only be plus $4.73. But that might be $4.73 one week, and another week I might look at it and be able to go, you know what, I can get away with throwing $74.45 in. Well, now I've got $79.08 just in case one of the paychecks is short and I need to cover the gas bill or the power bill suddenly. Or we need a new tire. Oh boy, that has happened so many times. And then for this part right here will be extra income. Now that can be anything like the 3rd paycheck. Now if you're someone who who gets bi-weekly paychecks, let me explain this to you real quick. Twice a year, you will get a 3rd paycheck in a month. It's roughly every 6 months. And depending on how you have your bills set up, you can use that 3rd paycheck either to get ahead and be a month ahead on things like your rent or your mortgage, or you can use that 3rd paycheck to pay off all of your friends that you've been borrowing over the month from. There are a few things better than keeping people who you might have to ask for help from happy, because they don't owe you help. Now, we used one of these 3rd paychecks to give us a month ahead on our mortgage. When we first moved here to the homestead, the mortgage was a little wonky because it was coming out at the first of the month. And a lot of our utilities were coming out, were coming due around the same time. So we used one of those third paychecks to get us ahead. So I'm just going to write down shelter for that, and then internet, and then small loan, and then fuel as in transportation fuel. For those of you who don't understand why I would write that down, when you live as far out as what we do, and when inflation is what it is, you have to budget for fuel cost. If you don't, and you're unable to go to an event or something like that, well, you have been advised, if you need to budget everything, budget your gas cost in. Or if you're in the city, budget your bus and subway pass, especially if you're trying to reach a point to where you can end up investing in your own home as well here soon. If you guys ever want any advice about that, well, there's a lot of it out there on the internet. Coming to my backside is probably the worst thing you can do. Okay, so by using that third paycheck to pay a month in advance, the first paycheck of the month for us takes care of our mortgage or shelter. Our internet comes out near the beginning of the month, along with a very small loan. But both paychecks end up with a budget for fuel and groceries. Between me and my husband, if things were the cost that they were a couple years ago, we could get away with $350 a month on groceries, because he and I have a tendency of buying things in bulk. We tend to lean towards fresh vegetables and whatnot, and we make a lot of our own meals at home from scratch. Fast food is a treat. It's a treat. The last time I had a burger was this past week, and that was from Carl's Jr. But if you were to count the number of months since the last time I had a burger, it was probably about 3. And that was from the Wendy's value meal. So the second paycheck takes care of all of the other utilities, which means we're paying them a couple weeks early as well. No, that does not mean that your utility or your mortgage company is going to change the date on when things are due. All they care about is being paid. That's it. Because that lets them pay the people that help keep your power and your internet and your gas and your water, if you live in the city, functioning. And yes, I will snarl at people who think utilities should be free. No, they should not. People work to keep your utilities going. They need a paycheck and food on the table too. Now, because Dave and I, my husband, have this system set up, our 2 third paychecks every year, we'll either look at catching up, say, a car loan, personal loan that we're working on paying off, because we had some time there where things were pretty tight back when we were living in Phoenix. But we were making a lot of the right choices, but there were a couple of stupid choices that were made, and consequences take time to pay back. Let's just put it that way. So that third paycheck can go into any of those, or if you've got nothing special, it can go straight into savings, sit there. Because it's entirely possible that if you're like me and my husband, you need to buy a 4-wheeler and a tractor. And depending on what you can find used on, say, Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatnot, Although Craigslist is full of spam bots these days, so it's not exactly a reliable place to find something anymore. But if I find a four-wheeler that has everything I need, it's a slightly older four-wheeler, which means as I get more acquainted with it, I can do a lot of my own maintenance, which cuts down on cost too, something that I as a homesteader have to keep in mind. And I can immediately contact them and go, hey, I've got a truck and a trailer and I can be there with the amount you're asking for it in cash. Can I come get it today? And that's a nice thing to be able to do. Or if we end up deciding, okay, no, the tractor's a little bit more important and we can't find a used tractor for a good price, putting money into savings means that if we have to get a new tractor, we can put a sizable down payment onto a new tractor so that the loan amount for the rest of the time that we have the loan for that particular tractor is much smaller. Also underneath the extra income, you would put things like side gigs. Now, my husband is in an industry where side gigs are pretty frequent, and sometimes when it rains, it pours when it comes to side gigs. For me, I'm just a crocheter, knitter. I don't really have much of a side gig, but my friends and my family know that if they need to commission me for something crocheted, they can come to me. So I would add those kind of orders, that kind of thing there under extra income. And this is what the monthly pages are basically set up like in here for each month. Now there are a couple of other annual spreads that are in this annual journal that have nothing to do with budget. And that is things like my period tracker. Now, for those of you who remember the calendar stickers from that one Archer and Olive box, that's what these are from. These came in so handy. It took me a year to use up that roll. I mean, I was looking to use it up too. So I have 2023, 2024, and 2025 in this little B6. I have noted that having my period tracker in one place, aka an annual notebook, is way better than trying to transfer said things over each month when I set up a new month. That's why you didn't see a period tracker in any of my bullet journal setups here recently. Those are actually on a B5 page that I've cut in half, and they're sitting in the journal bag from the winter 2021 Archer and Olive box, which is still my favorite, and I very much wish I had jumped on getting more of those notebooks. This page right here is going to be for new or paid off loans. I'll be hopefully writing down we paid off this personal loan on this date, and we closed it out, or we picked up a new thing, and this will be a dashboard that I go off of when I set up the bills in 2024, where I'm doing my best to stay on top of budgeting. Now, this next page right here is things that we want to try to get done in 2024, because we're going to be keeping a very close eye on our timelines and our projects and our costs. And a lot of times, my husband and I are overly optimistic about the kind of time we have to get projects done or to get started on projects. And, you know, it doesn't always go the way that we hope. So this is for things where we have decided this is the big project and two small ones. You know, I've said in other videos and vlogs, we are a homestead building from the ground up, but we also have something looming in the background, and that is our well could very easily go dry. And if the well goes dry, the homestead will die. That's just how it goes. If that occurs, we will unfortunately have to put on this list, and possibly even in 2023, dipping into what little bit of equity we have on the house at this point to put in at least two several thousand-gallon capacity cisterns. And we will have to set up all of our buildings for rainwater catchment. And that's a big cost. The thing is, we can't move out of this area just yet either. You can't just turn around and sell a home after 6 months. I mean, you can try, but it's going to be on the market for a very long time. So for us, that is something we have to keep in mind. And it's entirely possible that the well may never go dry. But to also put in a savings plan to be able to put in the cisterns as a backup to that. And when we have months and seasons that are a little on the dry side, we can refill the cisterns from the wells, which would it'll give the well time to recover, hopefully. We're looking into some agricultural options or ground terrain options that will allow for more water to soak in and soak back into the aquifer, but it's a thing that is in the back of minds. It's entirely possible for 2024 I might have to plan moving costs, packing budget, that kind of thing, because it's entirely possible that a couple of the really big companies in this area might start approaching homeowners and going, okay, you know what? We're going to buy you guys out so you don't have to worry about the well going dry. Here's money. Move to someplace with water. We have here, year at a glance for 2024. So my period tracker for 2024, it'll be set up for that kind of thing. Did I cut out the astronomy tracker, or did I decide? Oh yeah, no. My astronomy events are going to go underneath the month at a glance at the beginning of each year. And then, as you can see here, got everything ready to go for 2024. We are set up for 2025 with more calendar stickers. This is ready to set up for 2025. I just didn't finish setting it up just because I didn't have time. And then we've got all your months right here: September, October, November, December. And then there's the loan amount and all that set up. And then I had a few pages left, so I decided to set up a power bill tracker for the 3 years that are in this. And then I had a page left that I didn't realize that I had left. And this is going to be the gas bill. We have natural gas here. And we'll just set this up here real quick with you guys. How's that sound? I think I can get away. Yeah, I can get away with putting almost every month on these pages. So, now why am I tracking something like the power bill and the water bill cost? Well, I'm curious. I want to see how it fluctuates over the 3 years. Because once I have at least 3 years worth of information for this place, that makes it a lot easier budget-wise for knowing how much extra income we need coming in. And also starting in 2023, this next year, we're going to be having chickens. So I need to also be budgeting for their food, their health care. If something happens to one of them that I don't know how to take care of, I will take it to the vet. Although I don't know if there's any vets in our area, hilariously enough, that deal with chickens. That'll be another thing to find out. That's another vet bill that I have to save. That's another bill that I have to also save up for is vet bill for my cats and dogs that are indoor animals. And the dogs are outdoor, indoor, obviously. The cats are purely indoor for the simple fact of I don't feel like dealing with my biggest idiot, which is Izzy Cat. She is Dirt Cat, although right now she's sleeping next to the space heater and she's being totes adorbs. But Izzy is a derpy enough cat that she would probably try to bring a rattlesnake into the house. I'm gonna let you guys finish going, what? Nope, nope, nope. Big nope. Yeah, that's what me and my husband said. But I have to save up money to pay for their vaccinations and all that fun stuff. That is one downside about the Archer Olive gel pens, is that you do have to let them dry a little bit before you go turning a page. December, November, 23, 24, 25, 23, 24, 25, and then I've got this space right here in case I find out that I need to do something else with. Now, there are probably those of you who are curious as to why I keep track of the astronomy events, because I'm a geek. I'm a total dork when it comes to astronomy. And I like keeping track of when my full moons and my new moons are, because the new moons means that the telescope that I'm going to be getting back from my friends, I can take it out and I can look at my Milky Way, because here I can see the dust of the Milky Way on a new moon, and I want to see it through a telescope. So, full moons are the other kind of fun. And you've heard stories about being able to walk in the full moon's light and see everything. Yeah, that happens here. But as you guys can see, this is a minimal decoration journal setup, bujo setup, whatever you want to call it. It's just going to be a pen in this at this point, and a ruler once I set up a couple of the, finish setting up that one period tracker. But this is how I am using an annual journal for the next 3 years, and I don't expect that to change. Now, I might change to something else in 2026. We'll see. We will see. But that's 3 years from now. This is as far as I'm comfortable setting up for planning when it comes to bills and whatnot. So, yeah. That is that for this particular Get Ready for 2023 with me bullet journal, whatever we want to call it, video. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to see how I do that. I hope that you, if you are new here, decide to join us for the chaos and insanity that will be 2023. So, as always, thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Hug your loved ones tight, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.